That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about Strays, the second narrative feature directed by Josh Greenbaum, which is being released courtesy of Universal on August 18th, 2023.
Do I know Josh's other films?
He did this Bond documentary called Becoming Bond about George Lazenby, who I think was only James Bond once in 2017. I've never seen. But Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
Yes.
Which we did review and we both quite liked.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like this movie too. The premise: when a gullible Border Terrier named Reggie is abandoned on the streets by his selfish and ruthless owner Doug, an animal-hating drug addict who never wanted him, he teams up with other strays to get revenge on Doug. So,
drug addict. He's a pothead.
He's a pothead. Reggie's voiced by Will Ferrell, and Doug, his owner, is played by Will Forte. That's basically the story. So Doug kicks Reggie out of the house. They play a game called Fetch and F, the F word. Basically, Doug wants Reggie out of the house, so he'll drive him far away, throw a tennis ball, and then drive back home. But little Reggie always makes his way back. But the straw that breaks the camel's back is Doug is dating this lady who he's cheating on. And one day, little Reggie, not knowing any better because he's a little dog, he brings out some panties from the bedroom and drops them in front of Doug and his girlfriend.
Who's eating a TV dinner. The shame.
And she's like, those aren't my damn panties. So they break up. But we find out that Doug only has Reggie because the girlfriend liked him. She saw him for sale and wanted him. So she loved Reggie. But Doug keeps Reggie because he knows she loves him. But after she leaves, he continues to treat him horribly. And because he's the cause of their breakup, Doug drives Reggie 3 hours away to the big city and drops his ass off. And poor Reggie can't find his way back.
But that's also precipitated by an event.
Doug is such a loser. He's being evicted from his raggedy ass manufactured home. And he has everything packed up, and he has his bong sitting on some boxes, and little Reggie accidentally knocks the bong over. So that's really the final straw. So now little Reggie's stuck in the big city, and he meets Bug, voiced by
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, and Bug is a Boston Terrier. And he's like, hey, I'm a stray too, but Reggie's delusional. He doesn't think he's a stray. But Bug is like, you are a stray. So let me show you the ropes. He introduces him to two friends, Hunter and Maggie. Hunter is a Great Dane voiced by Randall Park. And Maggie is an Australian Shepherd voiced by Isla Fisher. And they agreed to help little Reggie find his way back home so he can get revenge on Doug. And what does revenge look like? Reggie wants to bite Doug's penis off. So they take this little trip, which of course is punctuated with calamitous things. They do end up breaking up for a minute because Reggie and Doug get mad at each other. But they're able to find him at the end. Reggie has found his way back to Doug. And Doug is mad. He's about to beat this little dog up with a baseball bat. And that's when his three friends bust in the house, set the house on fire, hold Doug down, and little Reggie does bite Doug's penis off. So all's well that ends well. We find out that during their journey, there's this missing Girl Scout, and some police dogs find them. We'll get to it. But Bug, Jamie Foxx, is the one who finds the little Girl Scout. So in the end, she's adopted him. So now he has a forever home. Maggie, her special skill, she's out in these streets because her owner is this vapid girl who's addicted to social media, and she's bought a new puppy, so she only cares about the puppy. But Maggie has a really great sense of smell, which is how they find Doug in the end. So she gets hired by the police, so she's doing well. Hunter, the Great Dane, he has high anxiety, and he wears one of those protective cones, but not because he needs it. It's more like an emotional thing, emotional support thing. So he finally takes it off, and now he's in a relationship with Maggie. And Reggie Reggie has chosen the life of a stray.
A street leader.
Yeah, so he's out here like finding other strays and helping them learn the ways. But the final scene is that we see him hanging out with his buddy Bug at Bug's Forever House. The end.
Forever House.
We forgot to give our pull quotes, or I did. What's your pull quote?
Pleasurably scatological and overall lovable. It's the subversive talking dog movie we didn't know we needed.
I said foul-mouthed dogs on a mission are as fun as you'd imagine.
Oh.
So, yeah, I thought this was really funny. I laughed the entire time. Like most R-rated raunchy comedies, there are moments when it gets tedious or it feels like they're trying too hard.
Sure.
But overall, and then it's like, who doesn't love dogs? And I loved little Reggie. If I wanted a dog, I'd want a Border Terrier.
Oh.
He was so cute.
I thought they were both cute.
But Bug is super cute too. And Jamie Foxx's voice work really grew on me as Bug.
And the title, not to be confused with that Vin Diesel movie from 1997, Strays.
Oh.
And there's also a TV movie, there's a horror movie about killer cats that I quite liked as a child. It's called Strays.
Oh, I'm fully expecting a sequel featuring cats.
Yes, and I guess that would trump this old Kathleen Quinlan, Timothy Busfield TV movie. But the tagline for that movie in 91 was, they say cats have 9 lives. Will one of them be yours?
Oh, God. So Will Forte, who I really like, he's so gross. They have this awful wig on him, and he lives in this dump of a mobile home.
I mean, he is white trash.
And I think the funniest part of him is we see him shaving his pubic hair, and it's like a lot. And then he had his little butt hanging out. I thought that was funny. But the wig is awful.
His mother is paying for his house, and he's constantly calling her, berating her. But one of the things that I caught that he's saying to her is, because she's telling him to move back home because he's being evicted. He goes, I can't live that close to a school.
I didn't even catch that. Oh, poor little Reggie. So another thing that confused me is the dogs say they don't understand humans. And they even are very impressed that they think Maggie knows 9 human words, but she corrects them and says she knows 31. So I thought it was a little confusing that they seem to understand humans. I mean, as dogs do, I guess, but Bug is very concerned about being, like, he's never been called a good boy. So I thought that was weird that he knows that that's what he wants to be called. And Reggie, Doug calls him awful names all the time. And Doug doesn't understand them. But then towards the end, he realizes, like, he seems to be very clear about how Doug felt about him. Mm-hmm. That was a little confusing to me. But one thing that Reggie said that I thought was sad is when he's trying to explain to his new friends, Doug, because he's still defending his owner. He says that the best relationships are the hard ones. I thought that was so funny. It's so sweet of this stupid little dog.
I mean, there is a definite darkness to the tale. It, kind of reminded me of other animated films like All Dogs Go to Heaven, or if you remember Fantastic Planet, where the aliens have the humans as pets.
Yeah, I was thinking more All Dogs Go to Heaven.
But also it's giving me Homeward Bound mixed with maybe Big Mouth and some human trauma like This Boy's Life with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, God. So Bug has a theory that humans are obsessed with the dog poop because they're always picking it up and putting it in bags. And he thinks that humans use dog poop to make chocolate, and that's why they're not allowed to eat chocolate. When Bug introduces Reggie to his 2 friends, they do scraps night, which I thought was really funny. They go to this like restaurant pub, and of course everyone's drunk carrying food, and one lady drops a pizza, and the way these dogs run, they're just so cute.
And they're drinking beer out of bags in the back.
Like how the trash bags have all that nasty liquid combined, and they're like drinking it and they get drunk. That was really cute. Then at one point they're howling at the moon, and Hunter, who's super awkward
can't howl
and very uptight, he can't howl, so he's just saying howl, howl. I thought that was cute. Then, okay, so the way Reggie can find his way home, because he's so far away, is he remembers some landmarks. Like he says there's like a hamster, like a giant hamster wheel and a devil in the sky. So the giant hamster wheel turns out to be a Ferris wheel at a carnival. Because he says, oh, the hamster wheel smells like hot dogs. So they get there to this carnival, and they meet what they call a narrator dog, which I thought was funny. Like, the dog's only purpose is to sort of like have this internal monologue.
For his owner, who ends up
turns
being
out
a serial killer.
Yeah, his owner is a serial
Too
killer.
bad no one listens to me. He's got 3 bodies in the backyard.
And
That was so annoying because that woman turns around, that she's playing some game. She's like, your dog made me miss my shot.
yeah. Then, so Hunter likes Maggie. And at one point he gets excited. And there are many jokes made at the expense of Hunter, the Great Dane, having a large penis, which is kind of funny. But at one point this dog gets an erection, but he calls it a friend boner. I think it's cute how the dogs, like the way they talk about sex, and it's very mechanical and matter of fact. Because of course they have sex with inanimate objects.
Oh yes, Sofia Vergara voices Delilah the couch, who is put out on the street and is someone that Bug is familiar with.
Sexually. Then we get a scene with fireworks, because of course dogs don't like fireworks. And then there's an emotional scene, I thought, where Reggie, because they're trying to run away from the fireworks, and Reggie gets stuck under a fence because he's wearing a bandana that Doug put on him. And that's when we have this moment where Bug explains to Reggie that they're friends and they're there for him. Because Reggie's saying, no, save yourselves, leave me. Even though nothing's happening, just fireworks. And the other dogs help pull him out. Like, they're pushing the fence and Bug is pulling him. And that's when I thought that was sweet.
There are a couple of very poignant moments, really.
And then earlier in the film, Bug told Reggie, when you're a stray, you have to mark your territory, so whatever you pee on, that's yours. So after they save Reggie, he goes, well, maybe we need to like commemorate this, so can we all pee on each other?
Because then it's like Blood Brothers.
Which was sweet, and then they pee on each other.
I think my favorite scene, though, is when they ingest mushrooms in the woods.
Oh, yeah, they're hungry and they eat a bunch of mushrooms and they get high.
And they trip balls. And
they trip balls, and then they think they found like stuffed bunnies in like a molehill. But it turns out those were actual rabbits, and there is a full-on massacre. That was funny.
Because they wake up in the morning to this carnage and they're like, oh no.
But before that happens, Dennis Quaid has a cameo
I forgot.
as Dennis Quaid, and he's bird watching. But his book, like, he's checking off the birds he sees.
He names the bird like snow-tipped leopard sparrow.
He knows the name of the bird he sees, but in his notebook, checking off the birds, they all just say bird. That was stupid, but funny. And then that's when Bug, Jamie Foxx, he gets scooped up by like a bald eagle. And then we get a scene where they're trying to save him from this bald eagle.
So there's 2 dogs dangling from this bird's talons, and Dennis Quaid sees it, and he goes, he's like, well, that's something to see, and I've seen some things because I'm Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, whatever. Okay, the police dogs. So we find out that, well, we knew that Hunter, the Great Dane, had trained to be a police dog, but because of his anxiety, didn't make the cut. So when these police dogs find them, they turn them in, but before they do, the one recognizes Hunter, but they still turn them into animal control. And another really silly scene that I did think was kind of funny is they get locked up like in dog jail. And this is where, because they're like, we have to get out. And Bug has the bright idea about poop. He's like, hey, every time we poop, the humans come and clean it up. So if we all poop, then the guy running the jail will open up the door, and then we can like bum rush him. So then we get a scene where all the dogs poop. And then when we finally see the end result, they're all standing in front of their poop very proudly.
On display.
And then the actor playing the animal control guy.
Brad Gelman.
I thought he was funny because he's clearly having issues outside of work. So he's yelling at these dogs. And then they bust out and he falls into all the dog shit. I thought that was a cute scene.
That was also giving me, there's this Cornel Mundruczó film called White God about a bunch of stray dogs banding together. It's Hungarian.
It's also in that jail scene that Hunter says, I think I can grab the keys, because of course there's a loop of keys to the jail cell hanging in front of the cell. So Hunter thinks he can use his erect penis to get them. So we see like the penis growing, like it's going to reach the keys, but then the final shot is like he is like 6 feet away.
Yeah, he's very far away from it.
I thought that was really cute. So sort of the moment where the group breaks up is because this entire journey was because Reggie is saying he wants to get revenge on Doug because Doug was a bad owner. But then they used to play that fetch game with a tennis ball, and Reggie finds a tennis ball, and Bug is upset, like, why are you holding that tennis ball? And that's when Reggie admits, I actually want to go home. I miss Doug. I was a bad dog. I realize what I did wrong, and if I go back and I act right, maybe Doug will love me.
Stockholm Syndrome.
And Bug gets so upset, he's like, well, we're done. Like, they get into a fight and separate. But then something that wasn't very well explained is why they decided to get back together. They physically get back together because Bug finds that missing Girl Scout and they call for help and the other two come. But I didn't understand why once the three are reunited, why they all thought they should go find Reggie. Like, what happened that they changed their minds?
They just decided they needed to help their friend.
I mean, I guess they're just dogs. But
yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's touching and gruesome how they hold down Will Forte and ravage him.
Oh, I forgot to mention part of that dog poop jail scene is Reggie's giving the motivational speech of like why they should do it, and he's like, "Poop with me to freedom," and then Fergie's London Bridges starts playing.
Oh, and also the P scene, they're now PFFs.
Yeah, instead of BFFs. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the landmarks. So I said the giant hamster wheel is the Ferris wheel. But I thought even more funny was the devil in the sky turns out to be a billboard of a U.S. postal worker. So like how dogs don't like mail carriers. I thought that was really cute. And then when Reggie's attacking Doug, Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball is playing. Mm-hmm. Stupid, but I thought it was
It's
cute.
stupid, but it works. It's fun.
What else do you have to say about this movie?
I think that's about it. I don't know. Dan Perrault wrote it, who also wrote American Vandal, which is why I think we have Jimmy Tatro in there as the voice of one of those bully Rottweilers at the beginning.
What do they call? They're like some Afghan dogs, like the ones with the long hair that are like prostitutes.
When Maggie's sniffing the bandana, she gets like a montage of the smells associated in it, and she calls those dogs bitches of the night.
Yeah, bitches of the night. That was funny.
Yeah, they're sex worker dogs. Because one of the Afghans like, have you ever had an Afghan?
Yeah.
And then Harvey Guillén is a little chihuahua named Shitstain that pops up at the very end.
That's right.
All these abused dogs.
I know. I very much enjoyed it. I definitely want to see a version with cats. Mm-hmm. What would you give this film?
3 out of 5.
I would give it 3.5 out of 5. Anything else?
No.
Hit the thanks button. Listen to our podcast. Bye.